We all love fantasizing something, especially when that fantasy, that imagination, fits the narrative that makes us feel like it was special. And let me explain. There are so many people in this world who would go through a breakup, let's say, or any kind of relationship between another human, and you guys don't see each other anymore. You guys broke up, or there was some issues or drama going on between you guys, and you guys just like passed away, or you guys no longer friends anymore, let's say. Those people, like, there are two types of people. One who doesn't even care about that at all, like they just live their life. Like, it's not like they hate the person, but more like they're no longer with that person anymore, so they just move on and live their own lives. But the other person, the other type of person, is that they tend to like fantasize and think that it was something more than like just a relationship or just a friendship that they had. They try to make it something like special out of it, like we had to part ourselves because of like that reason. And it's like it's like a story or a plot that can only be written or like seen in movies or books, so that way they avoid getting the kind of they first, like, what it does is they avoid getting in response being in response of what they actually cause to make the relationship end or friendship end, like the actual causes, the actual reasons why they had to lose their friends. And I see this so in many times in relationships when I had before, and like friendships as well, like like me and myself as well. I used to fantasize about this one girl who I never even dated. Like gave her so much of narratives and like lines and like different like backgrounds about, like, I literally just fantasized her like an angel, like some like actual angel, like someone who I cannot ever be deserved of. And I had to keep on going, even like since like, even till like a couple of years ago, like, yeah, a year ago. And it's crazy because now that I think of it, it's not something that you just do it because you want to. It's more like your defensive system kind of kicks in, and you want to save yourself. You're going to defend yourself. You had the chances, you had the kind of opportunities, let's say, but you fucked it up. So what you do is like you want to make yourself special into thinking that there were much more things around it rather than just you fumbling or she just being not the kind of person that you were expecting. Exactly. That's also another thing that I want to point out is that usually most of the times when you fantasize about certain relationships or and anyone just like imagining that that person would have something greater than what they actually show, or like that person's special to me, is that you make this imaginate you make this like false image of about this person by yourself that doesn't even fit the reality. Like, if you genuinely just like start writing about what you're thinking, you would easily find out like which parts and how delusional you're being. But we can't do that every single time when you're thinking. It's just like part of our minds, and it happens. You only find the contradictions and fallacies once you actually try to put out into voices or writing. So it's just keep making this person as if like it's someone who's not even them anymore, and like someone who you are, who you think that you want, but at the end, like, you never even know if you actually want that person or not. And this happened a couple of times to me as well. Like, first, I have this Tim Horton, like a Starbucks, but Canadian Starbucks, in front of my apartment, back in my house in Mexico. And whenever I went there to get an ice cap, it's just like a drink. I used to drink it every single day because of this one girl who worked there in that cafe. And one day I was like, fuck it, like I was just like feeling this kind of like adrenaline that maybe I could get her number out and get her number and like make her like, I mean, not how do I say, like take her out for dinner or something. And she actually gave me the number, and like we chatted for a couple of months. And after that, like she wanted me to she actually was the person who like asked me to hang out. And what happened during that hangout was that like it kind of cracked, should I say, like it kind of broke the imagination that I had about her. um she didn't look as pretty as she did before, because with the first time I saw her I was like, wow, she's so beautiful, she's so gorgeous, I need to ask her out. But I couldn't, and I like a couple of weeks later I asked her out. But I mean, I asked her Instagram. But what I'm emphasizing is like what I'm trying to say in this story is that I realized like how much I fantasized about her, and later I figured out like she had like bunch of other dudes, well, like simultaneously like talking to her, like maybe just friendships, but like back, I still don't understand about this kind of things in dating market anymore. Um, and I just was like, okay, this is weird. I'm just like cutting this off. And she never texted me back once I stopped texting her back. And when she texted me back was when she figured out that I unfollowed her and removed her from she followed me. And she said like she said both kind of things. And like back then, yeah, I was single, so like still single, but like I was single. So she texted me like, "Why did you like remove me?" and some kind of stuff. And that day, like she had like thrown some questions and like some small chats. And then like, when I followed her, like she stopped talking to me anymore. Like you get what I mean. Like so basically, it's like not a. I'm not saying like pretty girls. You shouldn't go for pretty girls. They are just pretty and difficult to get. That's also one of my points. But the main point it being we start fantasizing about a specific person or any kind of relationship you had, or anything about like in your life. Let's say you are way too scared of, just like my case, like asking a girl out or trying to do something, like you're scared of doing specific thing that maybe you need to do. Maybe it could be studying, maybe it could be something that you've been dreaming of, but you just feel like you can't do it because you're scared of the result. Like you won't get the specific result, but you think you deserve when you actually when you actually go all out doing it. So you just stop doing it. You just keep wanting it, but also at the same time, you don't have the courage of actually like actually doing it in real life. So you just keep fantasizing and just feel like, and it's the reason why I call it a defensive mechanism. Like our psyche is trying to defend yourself not not taking the opportunities. But it's kind of like it all flows, like it works. Um, how do I say, it flows like in subconsciously. You don't even know that you're fantasizing it. You don't even know that you are you it's really hard to be aware of you being just delusional and not doing the thing that you actually want, when you are just trying to like make this false image about someone or something that you should be doing, or you should you like one deep in your mind you want it, but like just avoid it. And it's because you rejected yourself in the first place. I heard this quote in Instagram one day, and it's when you stop, like the reason why you should be asking any girls out, or like ask their phone numbers or like Instagram, if you find that person extremely attractive or like whatever reason, is that once you kind of make this pattern, or like once you make your brain learn about like you are not gonna have this kind of courage. And also you don't talk about you don't go for those kind you don't go for those opportunities. It's about you make this it's not like her rejecting you, but like you rejected yourself in the first place. So So for that reason alone, you should always, always, always take the chance. And also, when it didn't work, you don't fantasize about it. You just move on, and that's it. Like you just forget about it. But that's how I think what it works when there are two kind of like people, just like I said, like one did everything that they thought would work, they actually gave it all, and the other still has regret, still has so many things that they have to think about. That what if, like there's so many questions and yeah, what ifs inside their head. That what if I did it? What if I actually did all out? Like what if I did? What if I actually tried hard enough? What if I actually spend like try to do better instead of being afraid of the result might afraid of the results not commensurating the willpower and the time I spent to get it. So I kind of split it into two while talking about this, but you main point was trying to talk about that we tend to fantasize and romanticize. Actually, that's a much better word and much better way to put it. We tend to romanticize um, the experiences and relationships or anything that you didn't end it well, or you didn't you have just so many what ifs. Like you weren't even being yourself. You were just constantly, maybe if you were in a relationship, you just constantly ask for the other person, and you didn't actually like take, you knew that you weren't being rational or like anything, or about some specific things, like maybe I could have been doing that instead of this if I actually given that a try. But honestly, like being aware of you being like you romanticizing your past is actually good because you tend to learn much more from it, and those kind of regrets, now that you know it and you stop romanticizing it, and like it turned into regrets, and those regrets become kind of part of your desire. Because one of my biggest regret used to be not being able to like speak with an actual American, or like an actual like uh native English speaker, or like any like the part that when I didn't speak English and Spanish like not that well, I was like I had to pick something between English or Spanish, and like just go all out, immerse myself into it, and I also that is one of the reasons why I started YouTube channel, because I was like, if I don't do it right now, like I have this kind of regret, and now I'm aware of it. I don't romanticize it. I don't think about like before how I did. Like if I actually gave it all, or let's say like I just didn't have PC, like like you being, yeah, also romanticizing is a good word, but like also you are the victim in your own story. You are always the carrier, and you carrier who's carrying this like who has the biggest burden of like out of any person. Like you are the one who's like going all through this, but no one knows what's going on, like being the victim and hero about your world, or about just about your world in that situation. Like let's say for me was, oh, I just Spanish never fitted with me, the kind of things, like, oh, I should have done, I didn't have enough of friends to talk with, like all the kind of narratives that you make and you build into this one plot to victimize yourself and romanticize your past. But actually it's the worst, since because they can be utilized into regrets, and regrets turn into desire, and desires turn into this strong obsession about something that you actually want, and you see it crystal clear now that you want it. And all you have to do is just be consistent enough, and just keep on going, like pushing it to the point where you can call yourself, like you can be proud of yourself, or at least you will forget that desire or regret. That's I think how you should deal with regrets, any kind of regrets, and also trying to like stop romanticizing and victimizing yourself, especially your past, and especially um any kind of human relationships, because I also was, just like I said, not in relationships, but like the girl that I never got to even like ask her out, or friendships, let's say. I exactly knew the reasons why like my friends didn't really invite me to the party. So I never really got into like socializing that much. Obviously I did go to some parties, but like and I did talk well. I did know most of them. I was like this dude who knew all the students, like at least in my in my friend group and like other friend groups, even one of my friend told me like, everyone, like everyone. I just like dap up, like, the kind of relationship, like you have many acquaintance, but you have no real friends at all, like no one really invites you. And I know the reason why I have like this strong like romanticizing things going on, especially when I graduated my high school and was like so lost when I had to choose whether to go to the States, Mexico, or Korea. And that was when I started romanticizing my past, when I had like distant relationship with my friends back then when I was in high school in Mexico. Like I like all the friends, like if only I don't know, like I stayed there, or like if only I had that, or if only I just like, the kind of like I would have gotten everything. Like I could have even, you know, now I am aware of it. Like I can actually say it, but back then I was genuinely thinking that if I did something, like if I did all the things that think I but I think I would have gotten the goal that I'm talking about right now. I would have been much better in like relationship. My in my friendships, or like my life would have been much infinitely better. Like the way I would even have the kind of lifestyle that I wanted. You get my point. Like it's to the point where it's false, but you can't operate in that way, in a way like you call yourself out, like, oh, like that isn't it, like but surely isn't it, that's not true. It's just you're romanticizing and you're victimizing yourself into thinking that you are like something special. You had something special. Not at all. You just were antisocial. You just didn't ask her out. You just you just fantasized and made these false images about each people who aren't even that valuable in the first place. Like for me right now, they aren't that valuable for me. And also, if I think of it, they had so many flaws as well, as humans and as friends as well. So yeah. Um, Stop romanticizing and stop victimizing and stop fantasizing others. Just and in order to do it, the best way to do this is, I think, it's just to live the present. I think it's Buddhism, but really emphasizes the part like you need to live in the present and like keep it all in the middle. Like balance is the key to life. And I think that's right. That's totally right when it comes to this. And when it comes to like other things as well, but like trying to live in the present and like trying to enjoy the journey and trying to have something going on in your life, but also always about balance, like taking into extreme anything can be dangerous and harmful for you. So yeah, yeah. If you are aware of something that you've been doing and it's just clearly wrong, then I guess it's just time for you to stop doing it and actually like tackle it and make it as a desire and be obsessed with it and solve your problem, solve your insecurity about it.